You know what? Friday Eve.
It is.
One day closer to the weekend, so thanks for tuning in to our social media live coverage.
We've been talking about like our favorite days of the week and which ones are harder than others. I do have newfound energy on Thursday.
Do you?
Because you're gearing up, the end is near.
The end is near. My energy is on Friday, mid-show, and I'm like, you know what?
It is a Friday.
It's about to be Friday.
We're going to talk about this video that's going viral in a minute about a woman that reclined her seat on a plane and led to a guy punching the back of it.
A whole big mess.
A whole mess. Charges. But we're going to start with weather because if you live around here, unfortunately, there is some rain headed our way and it's really windy right now.
Hey, and Larry, the other thing about this too is we got to remind people if they were in one of the zones where they got lots of rain, this could potentially be dangerous because the flood saturated ground, the trees coming down.
Good point.
Yeah, I think the main issue would be the amount of high winds we're getting at the moment and the potential for some of those trees going down. Winds is gusting to 30 miles an hour, Charlotte, Rock Hill 30. So it's gusty winds, some heavy rain moving in, even severe thunderstorms. Take a look at the line of showers tracking towards the Charlotte metro area over the next couple of hours. Some very heavy rainfall from the mountains into the upstate. Here across the upstate, notice that yellow, that is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of the upstate of South Carolina. And these storms are moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour, so it's almost on a beeline for the metro area the next couple of hours. So we could still see the potential for some strong, even severe thunderstorms here. And you can see that line of showers extending all the way from east of Atlanta right into the mountains. So you can see some of those showers starting to move into the foothills. That eventually moves across the Charlotte metro area. This is our timeline, 8 a.m. Heavy rain from Morganton to Taylorsville. This takes us between about 8 and 10 this morning. That's where we see that heavy rain, some gusty winds here, and maybe even some severe thunderstorms at that time. This is about 10 o'clock this morning. This takes us to noontime. So for your lunch hour today, it could be a line of heavy rain and storms tracking across the area. Then that whole weather system starts moving away by about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So between right now and about noon today, very heavy rain, gusty winds, cloud ground lightning, even some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms. If any severe weather, we'll let you know first right here.
All right, Larry, I know you're going to come over here in just a second and join us for this next conversation. It is about this video that's gone viral. So we've got it. We'll pull it up right here. This is what's being shared all over social media. Let me give a little bit of a play-by-play, and then we will discuss.
So yeah, you got to let them know that this is of an airplane.
Yeah, that's part of the play-by-play.
All right.
Okay, so
because when I first saw this on the show, I was like, wait, what is this? I couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell?
I couldn't tell what was going on.
So this apparently happened on an American Airlines flight from New Orleans to Charlotte. The woman in her video says she reclined her seat, and then that man behind her asked her to return it to the upright position so that he could have some space to eat. He is sitting in the last row of the plane, which can't recline their seats. Maybe it's a little bit tighter. Well, the woman says she did that. She put her seat back up, and then she reclined
while he was eating.
And then she reclined it again when he was done. That's when that man started doing what he's doing in this video and punching her seat. She notified a flight attendant who I guess offered this guy a drink, is what she's saying, because it's tight back there. American Airlines later contacted her on social media because she obviously shared this and apologized. She's not satisfied with just the apology. She wants to now contact the FBI and press charges because she says that this is assault, that he was basically using her as a punching bag.
I feel her pain because it is super annoying to have someone doing that to the back of your seat, but is it assault? I don't think so, in my opinion.
I don't think it's assault, but I do think, here are two things, multiple things that came to mind with this. Number one, this man should, if he has such a problem with sitting in the back row,
first class,
you need to pay for a ticket that guarantees room.
Or the exit row.
It doesn't have to be first class. It could be other
It could be an exit row, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We've all been in that situation where we get a seat that we're like, really, this stinks. I don't want this seat. But you know what? You take the seat because that's the ticket you want to pay for. You could pay more money. So the other thing is this: it's not this woman's fault.
She can recline her seat all she wants.
It's the airlines. The airline make the seats that way.
Don't give the guy a drink as reward.
Why are you
fired up even more?
The other thing is, I feel for the flight attendants in this situation because I'm sure that they're trained in instances like how to resolve disputes or whatever. However, in this situation,
what do you do?
I don't know. If it's a full flight. I would not. I don't think the right thing to do would be to give the guy a drink because that kind of rewards his behavior.
Shoot, give me the drink if I'm the lady sitting in the seat,
right?
Rocking on my seat.
I think the flight attendant should have told the guy to stop.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Or sir, you're gonna have to be
because
he's being probably already on the flight.
Well, and she looks like she's
being very patient.
Just sitting there. What is she supposed? Is she supposed to confront the guy? Because then she starts an argument
on the plane,
which it just puts everyone makes everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He should have been told to knock it off.
Yeah.
So Larry,
from the flight attendant,
what do you think she should do? Because she basically said that American Airlines, they tweeted her back and said, "Hey, DM us your contact information. We're gonna have a specialist contact you." She said they called her, they apologized. She doesn't think that's enough.
What she probably should have done, as uncomfortable as it is, do not recline. You know the guy is behind you. And deal with the airlines after that. Say, I was very uncomfortable on my entire trip. I should be reimbursed.
I'm shocked that the airlines didn't not just reimburse her, but also give her a free flight.
Well, that was
Did we know that?
Let's talk about a free flight.
Additional flights,
I think that guy was very rude, uncalled for, but don't aggravate the situation by going back again. There's no excuse for what he did. He's a bully.
Well, and it's so petty. Why would he be doing that to anybody?
I mean, there's so many people like that today. It just goes to show flying is not comfortable today.
Yeah.
It is so, and for someone like me, who's got long legs, it is sometimes so uncomfortable. I just don't even like to fly.
But I'm pretty sure you pick a certain seat too because of
because you know that.
Yeah, and the exit row. By the way, the exit row you can't recline in that. Just to let people know. But you do have more.
You have more leg room.
Yeah. I had this. I've sat on that back row many times, and had people recline. But you just, it's their right to do that.
I will say this: I am very aware of the space, and I will look behind me first.
Yeah.
And this is just me.
Yeah.
I will look behind, and if it is someone behind me who has long legs, I won't recline.
Really?
See, I feel like it's inconsiderate.
I actually don't look because I just feel bad either way, but I also know that I'm allowed to recline. They're allowed to recline, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I just don't do it just because I feel like if that was my dad or someone who would be uncomfortable, I wouldn't want to make them uncomfortable.
You know what the reality is today? I really think, unfortunately, I think these seats are so small.
They're so small.
Don't recline. You save the fact that you're not going to get an altercation with people behind you, and it just shows how uncomfortable it is to fly in these flights, and they don't recline because there's no room. There are so many people.
But you can't stop that because
larger individuals,
airlines
people
have that
long legs
option.
like me, that you're going to recline. You're right.
Well, and the other thing too, now with airlines, they're offering different ticket levels where you can't pick your seat.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you do like the basic economy, you don't pick your seat.
I
so you have to risk that
basic economy, but
you are 5 foot.
But if I was in that situation, I don't look back if I recline my seat. However, if the person behind me did say, "Hey, I need to eat my food. If you mind," I will pull it back up. But then I will then say, "Hey, I really want to recline my seat," and I will go back and ask, "Hey, do you mind if I go ahead and do it now?" I will be that courteous because I'm also the type of person. If I'm on a flight and I have a lot of food in my lap, I'll say, "Hey, do you mind if I eat my food beside you?"
So what if you were this woman and you asked him again and he said, "No, it's uncomfortable."
I wouldn't recline.
Then I wouldn't recline, but you best believe I'm about to get on my phone while I'm sitting there and I'm sending American Airlines a message because I am going to get reimbursed and I'm probably am going to get a flight for free.
I doubt it.
That's me.
I doubt it.
I will say,
I'm saying I'm pretty sure.
I've had horror stories and got $25 vouchers, so I don't know.
Well, no, I won't say. So I've had a situation before, and I'll just say it. And I have complained, and I did not say anything on the flight, and I did get reimbursed for my flight, and then a $50 voucher for the next flight. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know until you ask.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't cause confrontation with the guy behind me because control what you can control. What are you really going to do on the flight?
And you don't want to make, I would want to make that person uncomfortable and cause a problem.
Yeah, she's saying.
So I think they're both in the wrong. I mean, clearly this guy instigated it and was in the wrong, but she didn't. Knowing that this man is a lot bigger and is uncomfortable, she didn't need to get that 2 inches to recline. Is what I think.
But it's not assault. What are our viewers
like
saying?
be considerate all the way around. Everyone should be considerate. He shouldn't be a jerk, and she shouldn't be a jerk.
A lot of people say that obviously.
Period. End of story.
That this is more of an annoyance than it is an assault.
Yeah. Are there any comments about that?
Yeah, there have been people that said. D-Moon on Twitter said that he thinks it is an assault, but he doesn't think it's likely that it's ever going to become a criminal conviction.
Correct.
You ever had somebody kids sitting behind you kicking?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh,
it's annoying.
Yeah.
It would drive me crazy. Yeah. You really have to exercise your patience.
What about people who talk so loud that you can't even, you can't hear yourself think. There are people like that. I've had so many people behind me talking.
And it's like you just want to be on the flight.
And this is just, I'm just going to say this, and this is just it's something that I need to get off my chest. I cannot stand it when people get upset or give dirty looks to parents when their kids are crying. You think the parent wants their child to cry?
Yeah.
The parent is miserable. Like, the best thing that you can do as like a good citizen and a good person is ask if you can help or try to distract the kid, or if the kid's knocking on your seat, just turn back and say, don't be rude to the kid.
I have sat so many times beside, this was a couple years back, I was sitting in the window seat. There was a lady and maybe a 5-year-old and a baby. Or maybe it's a 2-year-old. And so she said, excuse me, I have to change the diaper. Would you hold my little guy? Trying to take the little guy.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll take the little guy.
Yeah, and that's nice.
Well, then the little guy looked out the window and he goes, are we going to crash? Start laughing. Are we going to crash? This is not my kid. And I said, no, we're not going to. Yes, we are. Then I sat beside so many crying babies.
Yeah, and don't you feel, I feel for the babies and also the parents, because the parents are thinking, oh gosh, they feel terrible. They don't want their child to cry.
As long as they don't throw up on me, I'm okay.
Right. And I don't have kids, but I have my sister, she has kids, my friends have kids, so it's like I know, like I wouldn't want someone yelling at them or coming for them when, they're just trying to get through the flight just like you are, but they just have little ones with them.
I guess the moral of the story is everyone just be considerate of one another.
Yeah.
When you're in a small space like that, just
Derek said,
be nice.
I would definitely have asked to be moved. It was a big fail on American Airlines' part. He would have asked to have the seat laid all the way back, several pillows, and rocked to sleep after that, plus a stiff drink. And he doesn't even
If he
drink.
was the guy, he would have asked to be moved, or the woman?
The woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably would have asked to be moved too, but what if it was a full flight?
It probably would have been, right?
Yeah.
Brandon is in agreement with you, Carolyn. I think he said he thinks a lot more people need to have some more courtesy.
Just everyone just realize that, you're all in the same situation together. And for this flight, thankfully it wasn't that long from New Orleans to Charlotte, but can you imagine being on an international flight with someone who's just being completely inconsiderate? I would have been like, I'm done.
Give me the Dramamine.
That's exactly what I would have done.
The flight attendant gave him a drink.
Get her a drink.
Needed the drink.
I live with a flight attendant. I'm going to have to ask her today.
Please
some more details. So I tweeted at Wendy, the woman in this video. If anything else happens from the story, let us know. So we'll see. But anyway, moving on. One of our other talkers that a lot of people have been commenting on, which I think is actually pretty cool. So Charlotte was just named, this area, one of the best places to move and to live. And that it's a millennial, what is it, boom? What did I say it was?
I don't know.
Millennial
I'm gonna look it up.
boom town.
Invasion.
Yeah,
Invasion.
We're supposed to get
for
over
sure.
9,000 apartments this year alone. Rent is going up. The apartments are getting smaller. There are hot spots like Plaza Midwood, Belmont.
There are too many apartments.
There are so many.
It's causing too much congestion.
They're putting them on top of each other. That's what they're doing. And this story is all good, and it's good to see that Charlotte is growing, but you also have to think that it's so sad for the people that are living in poverty who are being moved out of the area, who can't afford to live in these fancy high-rises or
don't have anywhere to go.
And don't have anywhere to go.
One of the other issues we have is our infrastructure is not totally prepared for this amount of people.
The influx.
You think the highways, you think Interstate 485, they're trying to expand it. They should have built it that way, but we aren't quite ready for the explosion of population. More people, more traffic, and I'm not putting it down that we're a great city, but that's one thing about expansion. It's not always for the better. More people doesn't mean the better, because it means more congestion. And then our infrastructure is suffering right now. Bridges, overpasses.
You look at all the water main breaks that are happening, and you think to yourself, I wonder why sidewalks are buckling, because the water lines and the piping wasn't built for all of these people.
Then when things happen, that closes streets, and then that's where more congestion
And just this week, Billie Jean Shaw, she's a reporter on Wake Up Charlotte. If you have not watched her For the Culture piece from this week, that was that shows you, this piece was about how there was an entire street
in
Rock Hill dedicated to African American businesses, and they were given money to move out to different spaces so they could gentrify this street, and then none of the businesses were ever able to get back up on their feet again. And it was very touching and really sad about how when progress happens, and a lot of times we don't think about the downside of beautification, as they call it, or gentrification. It really pushes a lot of people out who who make a neighborhood what it is.
Yeah.
The history
Yeah,
it has.
and we really need to think about that because, you know, a lot of people don't think that a lot of people, especially elderly people, a lot of them rent. They don't own houses. So when you come into a neighborhood and you completely change it and huge condos and high rises and things, rent goes up and then it pushes
where do
people
they go?
out.
Where do
They
they
have
go?
nowhere to go. And that's what's,
terrible.
you
That's
know.
why I say if it was my opinion, why don't we keep continuing the effort for affordable housing?
That's why that's such a huge
And
conversation
then
in
the people
Charlotte.
who are living in the poverty areas, why don't you gentrify those areas to cater to
those
them,
people, right?
Not to cater to people
I think the
to
problem
come
is
in
this.
here and then raise the rent crazy.
Honestly, I think the problem is this: when you are someone who's not from a neighborhood that is
Then you don't
quote
understand.
unquote
You don't
poor
see the
or
issue.
neighborhood. You and I hate to say this, and tell me if I'm wrong, but oftentimes people stereotype and think poor equals bad. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you're a criminal. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you're a bad person. You deserve to have a nice place to live and rent you can afford and a place that you can walk to get things. You can go to work and you shouldn't be pushed out of a place just because you're poor. And I think a lot of people don't think about that.
So we posted in the comment section a link to Billie Jean's For the Culture story that Carolyn was just talking about.
Oh, it's so good. You got to watch it. You should watch all of the For the Culture. She does such a good job with that.
So we asked this question about us being the top place that people moved. We asked, why did people move to Charlotte, and got some really cute responses. So we'll click through some of these. Coach James says a new job and his girlfriend, which is now his wife.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
Oh, he moved from Florida.
I know. So that was my post, and then that's where everyone commented. I moved because Charlotte has jobs, so a lot of people moving for work. I moved for work.
Me too.
Larry?
I've been here too long.
Teddy, we know you're sucking up.
All right, Teddy, we like that answer. College. Yeah, a lot of people come to college and then stay.
1985.
Yeah. Go 49ers.
Oh, born here. I rarely meet people who say, I am from Charlotte, I was born here.
Yeah, it's
rarely.
It's a novelty
You know,
these
as long
days.
as I've been here, was most of my adult life, I'm not a native Charlottean, and I do ask that question quite often. Are you a native Charlottean? I would say, percentage-wise, maybe 5%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very
Come in
small.
contact
Yeah.
with are native Charlotteans. A lot of the native Charlotteans have moved away.
they no longer want to be here
They
with all
like
the
the old Charlotte,
transplants.
which was a nice, much quieter city, and they moved on to other quieter cities.
I like Gregory's answer, a blonde from Boone.
I know.
It's always those blondes, Gregory.
I had to comment on our Facebook page. I was like, thanks for making us all laugh on air. That was
good.
That was good.
funny.
That was a good one.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yes.
Talk.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday. We're excited for it, and we will see.
Valentine's tomorrow.
Valentine's.
Larry,
Don't
what are you
forget
getting
it.
us, ladies?
Why we can't bring Larry something?
Yes.
I have something for all of you.
You do? Oh.
I do. It'll be a
And they-
surprise. Nope.
It's going to be a great show. Don't miss it.
Yes.